Good afternoon. You've been watching NBC's special coverage of the election. We're still monitoring the situation and will break in if anything major comes up. Until then, I'm Cooper Henkel filling in for Dan while he takes a well-deserved breather after all that madness from this week. Today on Up North at 4, Andrew and I will be taking a look at some of the less well-known races being decided right now, a break from all those real election result worries. Plus, we will revisit our Changing North episode and learn how wolves may be affected by climate change. We'll get to all that in a bit, but here's your Top 4 at 4. Coach Sam Hernandez of Tomahawk earned a big distinction from the Green and Gold today. Coach Hernandez was named Packers High School Coach of the Week for his work on and off the field. Hernandez started coaching the Hatchets last year and takes a community-oriented approach with his team. Good luck tomorrow, guys. UW-Stevens Point will be providing free rapid result COVID-19 tests at all 3 of their campuses starting November 9th. The testing will run for about 6 weeks, starts at 8 and goes until 4 p.m. There's no limit on the number of times you can get tested. You do need to register online before you can get tested, though. Brown County is one of the heaviest hit by COVID in the state, which prompted the Packers to make a little display of support. The masks they're wearing is a fun way of encouraging people to take precautions, but Packer officials say they hope people take this quite seriously and make note of the very important issue they're making light of. Like everyone else this year, the Wausau River District is skipping right past Thanksgiving and heading into the holidays. The holiday open house kicks off the season this weekend, starting November 6th and ending this Sunday, the 8th. The event gives local businesses a chance to show off their goods and offer up some pretty great discounts. You can find out more on the Wausau River District website. All right, Andrew, please tell me we've got more warm weather coming.
We sure do. Be seeing lots of sunshine to finish off the day today. We saw plenty throughout the day. We'll start to see some increased cloud coverage into the weekend, though we'll still hold on to those temperatures. Let's look outside of Eagle River right now. Just another beautiful day. We are slightly cooler today, though no complaints, hanging out in the 60s, of course, and plenty of that sunshine. Right now we're in the 60s, a couple 50s across the board. We even made it to some 70s in the south, so overall slightly cooler today, though still very, very nice. So we can see a little further to the west, we saw lots of 70s hanging around the Twin Cities, and to the east over our area in the North Woods, we saw a few more of the 60s. Not many of us made it quite to 70, still very comfortable. A little further to the south, 70s across the board. We saw getting over 70 degrees in Milwaukee, very, very comfortable for all of us here. And that's to be considered too when we know that average temperatures around this time of year could be well in the mid 40s. So very welcomed weather that we're still holding on to for a while yet. And this is only going to continue. So we have above average temperatures that's projected through next week. We will see a cool off beginning on Tuesday. So we might not make it all the way through the 12th, though we will be above average for the majority of that period. It'll feel very nice for a while to come. And it'll stay dry. So we saw a little bit of precipitation going over to our north, just missing us a little bit into Saturday over Lake Superior. Still everything to the north of us and leaving us dry, so no precipitation in store and nice temperatures still for the upcoming week. We can see here on Tuesday is when we really start to get back into our seasonal averages, hanging out in the 60s through Monday, and then we'll start to expect some cloud coverage coming up there in some precipitation. And first chance of rain and snow mix will be on Tuesday there. So pretty nice for the next few days. Otherwise, we'll be cooling off very soon. Back break.
At Menards, we've got what you need to keep your projects going. Works Power Tools are known for their innovative designs and affordable prices. Like this 20-volt cordless drill and driver. It's a must-have in every household. All Works Power Tools are 11% off. Once you've stocked up, keep your tools organized with Masterforce tool chests and cabinets. Right now, save 11% on all Masterforce storage at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You just can't put a price tag on all this. And yet, we did. But with the new machine from CF Moto, it's surprisingly low. Because all the features you need come standard, like power steering, custom paint, and a powerful winch, all at a price you won't believe.
For all your off-road needs, American Marine, Shawano.
After 100 episodes, Amy says goodbye.
I thought you and me were going to work here till we got old and died together. I mean, not here at the store, but probably.
The 100th episode of Superstore, tonight on NBC.
Somebody has to stand up for victims. What happened to you doesn't define you.
You're going to survive this.
How do you know?
Because I did.
SVU returns November 12th on NBC.
The UFTA Sign Store has over 1,000 different signs. Signs for any occasion or any location in your home. Man cave, cabin, she shack, bedroom, you name it. With popular signs like Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Elvis, Wizard of Oz, Three Stooges, John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe, Jack Daniels, Budweiser, Miller, Coors, Hams, Ford, Cripes. That's a lot of signs. The UFTA Sign Store, located in the downtown Wausau Center Mall. Great gifts for friends and family. Yeah, you betcha.
You're watching Up North at 4, and you know what time it is? It's tea time. So, Andrew, I know we're all kind of tired about hearing about election results. I mean, I am anyway, and waiting for them is pretty painful. But in Kentucky, they got some pretty impressive results. A rather dogged contest has finally been settled. Mayor Wilbur, the French bulldog, is the newly elected executive of Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. The town has elected mayors from animals since the 90s, mostly dogs. His competition this year, though, was a little different. Smokey the Rooster and Stella the Fat Cat went up against Wilbur for the race. Ooh. He did win it, though, so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. Wow, I didn't know that animals could be mayors and take on those positions.
I believe quite a few towns actually have dog mayors. I believe, like somewhere in Alaska they do, obviously in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. How would you feel about like voting for a dog?
I don't know. I've never thought about it. It would bring a whole different set of things to ponder as far as what I'm looking for in my candidate.
Well,
that's
yeah.
For sure.
Like, I mean, do you go by American Kennel Club kind of standards? Is that how we're evaluating them? Which dog I relate to more? I don't know. Personally, I like the idea of a dog mayor, though.
I do too.
It's a politician I can trust. So. We also have another really interesting contest that was settled. Very important stuff here. The National Hall of Fame for Toys has inducted 3 new toys. Those are all pretty exciting. We've got the Baby Nancy, which is the first black doll to have an afro and dark skin. The groundbreaking doll was launched back in 1968. It's obviously a huge cultural breakthrough, a commercial breakthrough. Having black dolls available that look like young black girls was a big deal, still a big deal. We also have a kind of strange one here, Sidewalk Chalk.
I wouldn't have thought of that as a toy.
Exactly.
Okay.
But they are very popular, and they were included. The last is Jenga. Definitely a game I'm more familiar with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So those 3 are now in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
But what I want to know, Andrew, is what would have been in your Hall of Fame?
Oh my gosh. I probably would have thrown it back to Nintendo 64, an old game system.
Oh, okay. So I believe we talked about this a little earlier. You mentioned that you liked cruising for the USA, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like you start in the West Coast in like the LA area and migrate over towards DC, and it's kind of a whole tour of the United States through this racing game. It was a lot of fun.
It's pretty fun. My childhood toy memory that like just sticks out in my mind was getting my first Game Boy Color and Pokemon Blue.
Ooh, that was a good one too.
I know. So here's the old commercial from that one.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, don't get it, has nothing to do with the game, but I absolutely loved it. My mom thought she was clever and put my gift in like some kind of cleaning supply box. I was 7, I started crying because I thought I got cleaning supplies for Christmas, and then, you know.
Little did you know, it was actually...
It would have changed my whole life, I would have never known.
Wow.
I am a big Pokemon fan to this day.
Oh, I was going to say, so were you into Pokemon Go then when that was...
I still am into Pokemon.
Still into it, okay.
I am, and whoever in Pioneer Park keeps cutting down those yellow gyms, coming for you. You remember that. So, my more...
Well, if it isn't Tamagotchi,
exactly.
her new favorite pet.
This was my other walk around. Pokemon Go, before Pokemon Go, we had to, walk with your Tamagotchi, get them exercise, make them feel good. It was a lot of work.
Yeah, way back in the day. I didn't play that myself, but I know it was really popular, and then I think you could exchange with friends and have your little animals visit each other, something like that?
Something like that. Very much so. So what was your kind of more analog-y toy, I guess?
Oh my gosh. Well, I had the Nintendo 64, otherwise Game Boy, when they had the Game Boy, the flipping ones.
Very cool.
That was probably a big thing. My sister had one, so we exchanged a lot of games.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all from us. Next up after the break, we're going to have our Changing North and take a look at wolves in the Northwoods and how climate change will affect them. That's coming right up.
Moments of life are special, and suffering from diabetes should not get in the way. US Med's mission is to find ways to make your diabetes more manageable and more comfortable. You deserve to enjoy life without the constant reminder of living with diabetes. If you monitor with 4 or more tests per day, inject insulin 3 or more times per day, or use an insulin pump, you may qualify to receive a continuous glucose monitor, the latest in diabetes technology. A continuous glucose monitor provides blood sugar readings without uncomfortable finger sticks and alerts you real time to potentially harmful spikes in your blood sugar levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurance companies. If you're a caretaker for someone who suffers from diabetes or have diabetes yourself and meet these conditions, please call our diabetic specialist now to see if you qualify for your continuous glucose monitor.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 more times per day and injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call now and learn how to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. This is our second episode of Our Changing North. I'm here with Adrian Whitehaven. Adrian is a wildlife expert with Wisconsin's Green Fire, and we're in the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest, just east of Park Falls. Welcome to the show, Adrian.
Thank you for having me, Dan.
We're going to talk about wolves today. And wolves are a very emotional topic for some, but let's just start with kind of a historical context for wolves in northern Wisconsin.
Sure. Gray wolves existed in northern Wisconsin through the 1950s. Wisconsin was one of the last places where they occurred in the lower 48 states, but were killed off by the late 1950s. And where we're standing here is some of the last places where we had wolves in the early 1950s. For about 15 years, from 1960 through about 1975, wolves were considered an extinct species in Wisconsin. And then through a combination of the Federal Endangered Species Act and the State Endangered Species Act that provided protection for wolves, those wolves living in Minnesota, where there was a residual population, started to spread out and move back into northwest Wisconsin. And so about 75, 76, the first wolves arrived back in Wisconsin in a very northwestern part of the state, just south of Superior, Duluth. And about 1980, wolves started showing up in this area here where we are in the Chequamegon National Forest. That population initially grew fairly slowly. In the 1990s, it really started taking off. The first DNR count of the wolf population was done in winter of 1979-1980, and 25 wolves were counted that year. I started working with wolves in 1990, and the population had grown to 34 wolves, so it still was a relatively small population. But then it really started taking off in the 1990s and 2000s, And our most recent population count is a population of over 1,000 wolves. Our minimum count of 1,034 wolves to 1,055 wolves in Wisconsin. So this is the first time we've actually had our minimum count over 1,000 animals. So it's the largest populations we've ever recorded in the state.
Emotions, like I mentioned earlier, towards wolves are very high, even as the wolf population kind of regains its former strength. Why is that? Why are people so emotional about wolves?
Well, wolves have a variety of controversies. One is that they're predators, and predators often do have strong opinions. People develop strong opinions toward predators. Wolves sometimes kill the animals that we like. Sometimes they kill deer, and for hunters that may be perceived as competition. Sometimes they kill pets. Those are our companion animals. And sometimes they kill livestock, the animals that we rely on for food. And so sometimes they're in competition with people. And I think over the years, especially those our ancestors coming from Europe, having dealt with wolves and having had some of those issues with wolves, had some very strong opinions about wolves when they came to North America. Native Americans in this region that didn't raise livestock had less issues with wolves and just saw them as another hunter on the landscape and had very strong respect and appreciation of wolves. So it varies amongst the cultures. Many of our European cultures had much more negative attitudes toward wolves, and we carried that attitudes with us as we moved in this country. And with the higher wolf population, there's perception by some hunters that there's less deer out there. There are some farms that do have depredation problems, so we do need more tools to deal with those problems. And occasionally pets do get killed by wolves, and we have to be able to warn people where there are problem packs and be able to control problem wolves getting close to homes where they are attacking livestock and pets.
I will say the DNR compensates people when their livestock or pets are killed by wolves. And then you mentioned deer earlier. How do wolves help keep the deer population, though, especially with the CWD that's infecting a lot of deer lately?
Yeah, wolves have probably various impacts on the deer population, and there's often concern that with wolves there's not going to be a huntable deer population, and we're seeing very healthy deer populations across northern Wisconsin. So we know even with over 1,000 wolves, we still can have a healthy huntable deer population. It has a culling effect on the population, so animals that are less fit are probably removed from the population. And one of the ways that may benefit us is that wolves are more likely to pick off animals that have chronic wasting disease. There have been some modeling work that suggests that wolves may be a factor that prevents the establishment or reduces the spread of chronic wasting disease. We know from studies of other predators that predators can be very selective. Cougars in Colorado are about 3 to 5 times as likely to pick off deer that are affected by chronic wasting disease than are hunters. And we haven't been able to do that kind of testing on wolves yet because there are very few places where healthy wolf populations overlap with chronic wasting disease. So it seems to be staying out of those areas or just starting to gradually move into areas where there's a healthy wolf population. So not that wolves are going to be a panacea for chronic wasting disease, but they certainly are one of the benefits or one of the possible solutions to helping reduce the spread of chronic wasting disease, amongst other things. But wolves are a benefit there, and not really, although they're not a total panacea, they're going to be a benefit.
We learned last time from Ron Eckstein that deer populations will likely get bigger as our climate changes here in the Northwoods. You're going to stay with us, Adrian. We're going to head down the road a little bit, and we're going to learn more about how the climate changing affects wolf populations in northern Wisconsin. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. Why not let us take that crippling burden off your back? Habush, Habush & Rotier. We fight for what's right.
I wanna rock! Rocking Wausau like never before. 103.3 WGLX.
WPS was founded in 1946 to help care for the brave men and women who returned home from World War II to find themselves overwhelmed by medical bills. We've been serving seniors in Wisconsin and beyond since before Medicare began in 1966. For more than 70 years, WPS has served veterans and supported seniors through reliable, affordable coverage. Because we care. Call to learn more about WPS Medicare Supplement Insurance.
Coach LaFleur, welcome to the Cellcom call center. Every customer service call is answered right here, and we strive to answer on the first or second ring with no holding.
Oh, wait, say that again?
No holding?
No holding?
No holding.
Hey, Bakhtiari, did you hear that?
Yeah, got it. No holding. Yeah, no, I can help you out with that.
With Cellcom, you can always get in touch with live local customer service reps. Cellcom, clarity in a cloudy world.
Maybe this wildflower will be a magic wall.
Welcome back to Up North at 4. This is still part of Our Changing North. I'm still here with Adrian Weideman with the Wisconsin's Green Fire. And Adrian, before we get into climate change, let's talk about the wolf scat we just found.
Well, wolf scats are their droppings, and that indicates they're using this road as a travel way, and they frequently leave their scats along these roads. As part of it is a marker for other wolves to let them know it's kind of there are no trespassing signs to let other wolves know they're in the area. And something that's becoming more common now in the Northwoods, that wolves were a relatively rare animal not many years ago. Now they're becoming a relatively common mammal in northern Wisconsin. So they're recovering at very good rates.
And we were in a very wooded area before. Now we're in a more open area. Do wolves inhabit both areas?
Wolves do. They're habitat generalists. They're not that picky as to the kind of habitat, but we do find that they do best in forested environments or near forested environments. And here we are in a kind of a barrens habitat that's managed for sharp-tailed grouse, and they still use areas like this, but when it becomes more developed, a lot of farmland, a lot of people living in it, then wolves don't seem to do as well in those areas.
Well, good for wolves that they are a habitat generalist, because this habitat will be changing rapidly in the coming years. Let's talk about the goods and the bads looking forward for wolves and climate change.
Yes, from a wolf standpoint, there's probably not too big of a threat in that higher prey populations of white-tailed deer and turkeys will provide them more food, so that's going to be a benefit to wolves. But on the other hand, with the changing climate, diseases may become more of an issue. Diseases that in the past were less of a factor may become more potent. Most of our wolves in Wisconsin, or many of them, do have Lyme disease, and we've not seen any ill effect on wolf population. But with changing climates, whether the potency of diseases changes, there's that possibility. There's a possibility of some new disease coming in the area that wolves have not adapted to yet.
So we heard also from Ron last time that animals like moose, which are rare here but still present here, they might be moving north. Is there any chance that some more prey of the wolf will be moving north, and that will also move the wolf north?
With the most important prey for wolves here are white-tailed deer, so they can do okay in this area. One important prey for them are snowshoe hares. It's probably the third most important prey for wolves in northern Wisconsin, and with a changing climate, snowshoe hares are likely to decline. So wolves will have to depend more on white-tailed deer and more on beaver and more on turkeys. Their populations are doing okay, so it's probably not going to impact wolf populations to any great extent.
Anything else you'd like to say about wolves in general?
Well, I think that Wisconsin now has a very healthy wolf population. The big questions in the near future will be how we manage this population, and we're hoping the DNR starts a new management process. The last management plan approved in the state is now 21 years old. Our populations have grown extensively since then. We've learned a lot about wolves. We know that we can live on the landscape with wolves and we can coexist with them, but we do need to use the best available science for managing that wolf population. We hope the state moves ahead with developing a new wolf plan that reflects the current science and is a transparent process that gets all parties involved in deciding how we manage our wolf population.
Got it. Thanks so much for joining me, Adrian.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back on Up North at 4.
Won't you stay here with me?
At Slumberland, we offer quite a line of sofas.
All kinds of sofas, but only one kind of price.
A jaw-dropping low price. Great looking, too.
And all with free shipping. There's no minimum.
Only at Slumberland Furniture.
Waiting for the right time to replace your old drafty windows? Well, your wait is over because Renewal by Andersen's Black Friday event is going on now with unprecedented savings on our custom-built replacement windows. Our replacement windows are made with an exclusive Fibrex composite material that's vastly superior to vinyl. They won't warp or bow and never need painting. Each window is custom-built in the USA, installed with precision and care by our certified master installers, and both our windows and our installation are backed by the nation's best warranty. Don't waste your money on poor quality vinyl windows. This unbelievable Black Friday event makes Renewal by Andersen replacement windows more affordable than ever before. Don't delay a minute longer. Our Black Friday event only comes around once a year. This limited time offer and very special financing is the best reason to buy now. Installation is always included. Call now and schedule your free design consultation. Call Renewal by Andersen today.
Hi, my name's Chad. I went and saw a neurologist and had several MRIs, and they found out that I had spinal neuropathy. The neurologist at the hospital decided that the only treatment was medication. I didn't find that acceptable, so I called Spinal Aid to get a free consultation. After working with Spinal Aid, I'm able to walk, I'm able to sleep, I have balance, my overall comfort of life is 100% better.
Are you experiencing weakness, numbness, and/or pain in your feet or hands? These sensations might even be affecting other areas of your body along with your balance. You might have already been diagnosed with peripheral neuropathy and are taking drugs such as Lyrica, gabapentin, or Cymbalta that never seems to help. Neuropathy pain ultimately diminishes your quality of life. The Spinal Aid Center of Wausau can help relieve the symptoms of your neuropathy. Call Spinal Aid of Wausau today to see if our treatment methods are right for you. Call 715-203-1508 to schedule your neuropathy severity consultation.
Need a better night's sleep?
Come to the experts at Slumberland.
We've got all the latest sleep technology here.
At the lowest price. Get a Sealy Memory Foam Topper.
Or this Sealy Queen mattress, just $99.
Slumberland, free shipping on everything.
So Dan and Peter's fundraiser for NAF is at $1,600
Wow.
already. But they are not alone in this facial hair advocacy this month. Pringles shaved off Julius Pringle's iconic stash.
What?
Yeah,
He
you
looks-
saw it.
Wow.
It's a little weird looking, but they did it for a good reason, to raise awareness for, and money for men's mental and physical health. So this is the exact opposite approach we take here. We have No Mustache November, right? Or No
Shave November.
No Shave November.
That's the one.
over there they're calling it Movember, and they're all shaving their hair off. KFC, Colonel Sanders, also part of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I never thought I'd see the Colonel without a mustache.
Well, in France you can see it. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
think you can see it here, but if you want to Google French Colonel Sanders with no mustache, that's a thing you can do.
I'll have to do that here shortly.
Absolutely, awesome. Well, that's all from us here today. We've got your 5 o'clock news coming right up.
Yep.